Welcome everyone to the AAF Simulated, and we have finally made it. The playoffs are here, and I couldn't be more excited to be getting it underway with the Orlando Apollos 5-5 hitting the road to take on the 7-3 Birmingham Iron for our first playoff matchup of the 2021 AAF Simulated season. Boy, this is going to be a fun one. When both these teams have played this season, it's been a good matchup. Back in Week 5, Orlando fell short. Birmingham came out on top 26-23, and then last week, Week 10, they ended up sitting out Garrett Gilbert. They just accepted the fact that Birmingham was going to win the division, and Birmingham ended up winning that game 23-9. So the Iron 7-3, Orlando 5-5. Both these teams very similar, stout defenses. They attack on offense very well, and it should be a fun matchup today. We are so excited once again to get this show on the road. Folks, playoff football is here. Luis Perez taking the field right now. Boy, he has been playing out of his mind as of late for the Birmingham Iron, who are on a 3-game winning streak. They've been playing fantastic football. Tim Lewis, the head coach of the Birmingham Iron, has just done such an excellent job creating a culture there of a defense that is very tough to beat down. And then you've got Luis Perez, who's been playing great football. Trent Richardson, just an absolute monster, ended up coming out on top this season in the running back category. And folks, we are underway. Elliott Fry kicks it off. Back to receive is Quan Bray. He'll take it from the goal line. Smack down at the 25-yard line. And now we get a look at Luis Perez, who finished third place in all quarterbacks, second place quarterbacks that have started 5 or more games. He's thrown for 2,394 yards, completing 69.7% of his passes, averaging 8.6 yards per attempt, 16 touchdowns on the season, 10 interceptions. QB rating 100.3, really turned it around the second half of the season. In Birmingham, again, they've been on fire, 7-3, and let's see what they can do here. And they go with a quick little screen to Quentin Patton, but it goes nowhere. That's going to be a loss of 1. Orlando eats it up immediately. That'll bring up 2nd and 11. So not exactly the play call we were expecting to see right off the bat from Birmingham. These screens usually don't work too well, especially in Madden. So not the best play call there. We'll see what Tim Lewis dials up on play number 2. But again, going back to Luis Perez, he's just been outstanding. Last week against Orlando, when these teams played, he finished the game with some excellent stats here. If I can pull them up. Jeez, phone's being glitchy as usual. Perez, he had 222 yards, a couple touchdowns, 132.9 QB rating. So definitely expect to see Tim Lewis have a lot of confidence in his quarterback today against an Orlando defense he tore up last week. They go back to the same play, and Washington loses yardage again. What in the world? This is a terrible play calling to start this game for Birmingham. Again, I don't know why Madden likes to call this play so much. I mean, there's no receivers that are blocked for Washington, and he goes backwards. Orlando coming out as if they know what plays Birmingham's going to call. And it's already a bad 3rd and 14 coming up for the Iron. Right now, playing this home crowd kind of dying down a little bit, and you don't want to hear that early on. See what they can do here. 3rd and 14. They need a big conversion. Perez back to throw. With time. Zips it. Man wide open. It's complete. First down up to the 37. Quentin Patton with the reception. And Birmingham moves the chains to the gain of 16. And that's exactly what you want to see if you're a fan of the Iron. Perez with his eyes downfield gets great time in the pocket. The offensive line does an excellent job of holding up. And how about that? Perez with a big connection to Patton. And it's a first down. The drive keeps moving. And right now, get away from doing those screens. I would try to feed Trent Richardson the football. I mean, the guy is an absolute beast. He's run for 827 yards on the season and a league-leading 7 touchdowns. And there he is, barreling his way up. A good tackle by Azim Victor. And let's take a look at this offense. The offensive line been playing really well as of late. And as we mentioned, Trent Richardson leading the league, 827 yards, 5.5 yards a carry, and 7 touchdowns. Meanwhile, the wide receivers, you've actually got them led on Birmingham's side of things by Wes Saxon, the tight end. 657 yards on the season and 4 touchdowns. He's been absolutely incredible for that ball group. And then Jamal Robinson, a guy, he's got 447 yards. With Damian Washington, 580 and 4 touchdowns. These guys can play ball. 2nd and 8. Perez, quick pass, and incomplete. Miscommunication there with his tight ends. Let's get a look at Orlando's defense. The Apollos, this defense is some of the best players in the league. We've got Earl O'Kine, Giorgio Newberry on the line, who have been playing great. Terrence Garvin, Reggie Northrup. Garvin had a pick six a couple weeks ago against San Diego. You've got Will Hill, Cody Riggs, who also had a game with 2 interceptions against, I believe that was against San Diego as well, back in week 9. That was a big 40-17 victory for them. Pretty important 3rd and 8 coming up right now for Birmingham at their own 39. See if Perez can come up with something here. Off play action, back to throw, zips to the sidelines again. That's a 3rd down conversion. This time he finds Wes Saxton, the tight end, into Orlando territory at the 47. And again, Saxton has been his biggest target of the season. And a big reception there. Steve Spurrier is going to have to come up with a way to slow down this offensive attack, because Birmingham, they were able to do an effective job in week 5, and then last week they were essentially unstoppable in that game. So 1st and 10 now. That is a 3rd and 14, and now a 3rd and 8 conversion. Tim Lewis has got to love it. 1st and 10, and they'll go back to the throwing game. Why not? Perez has to let it go, and he's going to be dropped. Taken down to the 46. That's Leon Orr with a huge sack for this Orlando defense. That was exactly what the Apollos needed right there. And here Perez just doesn't really get enough time to set his feet. His wide receivers haven't really broken out of their routes yet. He probably would have had time to try to put up something, but don't make a bad play worse. Probably a smart idea to just hold on to the football, deal with the sack. Big play from Leon Orr, defensive tackle for those Apollos. And as I just mentioned, Steve Spurrier, he's going to need more of that from his defensive unit. 2nd and 17 going to be coming up now from their own 46. And here's where you'd love to see like a nice game from Richardson. 2nd and 17, they'll throw again. Perez in trouble. Down he goes again. That is Josh Banks with a sack back at the 40. Back-to-back sacks for the Orlando Apollos defensive line. And just like that, an excellent-looking drive from Birmingham. Might just come up short if they can't convert this 3rd and 23. And very similar to the last play. Not enough time for Perez to try to find his guys downfield. Banks just blasts through a couple of offensive linemen and is able to take down Perez. It's going to bring up pretty massive 3rd and 23. See what the play call is here from Tim Lewis. Backed up at their own 40. Perez will throw. Blitz from Orlando. There is a flag. This could be holding. Just checks it off. It's caught by Richardson. Turns it upfield. Got some room to run. Swung down at the 40. Let's see what the penalty is. It is going to be holding. That's on Brandon Green. But they'll decline the penalty. It's 4th down, and Colton Schmidt is out there to punt it away for the Iron. Back to receive, Jalen Marshall. He'll catch it at about the little outside the 10, taken down immediately at the 13, and now we get a look at Garrett Gilbert, the quarterback for the Orlando Apollos. He has been leading the league throughout pretty much the entire season, thrown for 1,752 yards, completing 72% of his passes, averaging 8.3 yards per attempt, 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a QB rating of 105.0. That is a league best. Garrett Gilbert has been outstanding for the Apollos. 1st and 10, he's going to go to the air. Rifles it across the middle, and that's going to be incomplete. Bring up 2nd and 10. Speaking of outstanding, how about this offensive line? One of the best in the league, without a doubt, and Dearness Johnson has been certainly loving that, and he's 2nd right behind Trent Richardson. He's got 825 yards, 5.2 yards per carry, and 6 touchdowns. I mean, we've got just the best of the best in the league going at it today between Luis Perez and Garrett Gilbert, Dearness Johnson, and Trent Richardson. It's going to be a fun one, guys. 2nd and 10 from the 13. Not the greatest field position right now for the Apollos on their first drive. They go to Johnson. Tries to find a lane, but taken down pretty quickly. Good tackle made in the open field. And let's take a look at this Birmingham defense, who played phenomenal last week. Casey Sales has been a monster on the line for Birmingham all season long. You got Jonathan Massaquoi had a big sack last week. Benequez Brown making some plays, as well as interceptions. You got Elijah Campbell. Jack Tocho had an interception last week. This Birmingham defense is arguably playing like the best defense in the league right now. Hardly giving up any points. I mean, the last couple of weeks, they gave up 9 to Orlando last week, and then only 3 to Arizona, a red-hot Arizona at that, the week prior. So, only 12 points given up in the last 2 weeks. 3rd and 9. Gilbert to throw. And it is caught. Drops it in over the top to Charles Johnson. He's off to the races. Down the sidelines to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Orlando. An 86-yard bomb. Drops in the bucket of Johnson. He gets off to the races, and we have a score. What a throw from Garrett Gilbert. That's one of the best throws of the entire season. And then Johnson does the rest. Gets the angle, gets to the sidelines, and Elijah Campbell, just not enough juice to be able to catch up there. What a play for these Apollos to start things off. In this sort of situation, you're just looking to get the first down, but how about Gilbert keeping his eyes down the field, doing an excellent job of finding his man Johnson open, and you go ahead and flex on him, Johnson. Huge play, 86 yards. Orlando's leading receiver comes up with a massive play here in the playoffs. 6-0 lead for Orlando. 2-point conversion coming on up for the Apollos. These 2-point conversions are very crucial. Quick pass. It's caught in stride. 2-point conversion is good. That's Chris Thompson with the reception. And Orlando is up 8-0 early. 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter. And if I'm Tim Lewis, I'm certainly not happy with the way that drive ended. You had them backed up in their own red zone, 3rd and 9, and you let up a huge touchdown, also giving up the 2-point conversion. And here's where we're going to see how confident is Birmingham in their offense right now to get back down the field and score. They had a great-looking first drive, and then a couple of sacks just pushed them completely out of field goal range. We'll see if they can come back here. As long as they can go neck and neck with Orlando, I think they'll be in good shape. Elliott Fry sends it away. Quan Bray will take it from about the 2-yard line. And he'll be taken down at the 26-yard line. So that's where Birmingham sets up shop with the football. And the Iron, again, on that opening drive, 3rd and 14 conversion, 3rd and 8 conversion. And just couldn't come up with it on that tough 3rd and 23 after those stacks. And right now the offensive line is going to have to do a better job of giving Luis Perez more time to find his targets. And also, right there, Trent Richardson, they've got to get him involved. He is the league's leading rusher in both touchdowns and yards per carry. Give him the football. And he's taken down immediately. Reggie Northrup gets to him behind the line. Richardson, that's a loss of 2. This Orlando defense playing at a very high level right now. So Richardson, you can just see he's struggling so far with the couple of carries that he's had to find these holes. And granted, that's not really his fault right there. That's just Orlando playing the ball really, really well. And the offensive line just not many answers so far for this pass rush of Orlando. 2nd and 12. On the ground again. There's a big hole for Trent Richardson. Barreling forward up to the 35. Just short of first down yardage. It'll bring up 3rd and inches. That's a huge run right there for Richardson. Exactly what Birmingham needed to see. Just that burst through the hole, dragging guys with him. You'll love to see it. And right here, this is a massive play for Birmingham. They can keep this drive alive and try to get some momentum going again offensively. 3rd and inches. Off play action. Perez lets it go. It's caught wide open. Quentin Patton into Orlando territory at the 45. How about Perez coming right back at them off the play action? He was sensing that pressure coming from the blind side and able to just make a huge throw, a wide open Quentin Patton. And talk about a rising star. Quentin Patton not really involved as much in the first half of the season, but he has really come on. And just last week against Orlando, he had let's see here, look, that's 6 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown. He was very, very important player in that victory, and what a play. 1st and 10 now from the 45. They go on the ground. It's Richardson, but he's tripped up. How about Reggie Northrup? He is playing out of his mind right now. Gets right in there again. He has had multiple tackles for loss already in this game. Reggie Northrup. My goodness. Heck of a linebacker. Really made some big plays for Orlando this season, and he's doing a great job here in these playoffs. You can just feel the playoff intensity in the air right now. 2nd and 11 coming up from the 46-yard line. Back to throw is Perez. Quick pass. It's caught to the sidelines, but Damian Washington gets his first catch of the day. He's taken down at the 39. It's going to leave him with a 3rd and 3, and this is a pretty important 3rd down because 56 yards is certainly out of Nick Novak's range. You could let him try it, but the odds of him hitting over 50 are pretty low. He's not been very reliable from there. He's been excellent from inside, the 45. 3rd and 3. What are they going to call here? Tim Lewis will go with a pass. Perez, across the middle, it's caught. Wide open again. That's Wes Saxon all the way down to the 21, and this crowd is going crazy. Huge reception, and Birmingham knocking on the door of the red zone. And you love to see the confidence that Luis Perez is playing with right now. He is throwing the ball out of his mind, hitting guys in stride. Pressure's not phasing him at all, and this is exactly what we knew he was capable of coming into the season. Wes Saxon is big target with another reception, but you look at some of the first games where he really struggled. Even in week 1 there when he threw a few interceptions. Against Atlanta he threw a couple interceptions early on in the season, but he has really improved that category, and he's been stellar. Trent Richardson met immediately. That's Terrence Garvin taking him down. Apologize for a couple of these glitches here. And that'll take us to the 2nd quarter. 1 down, 3 to go in this playoff game. The East Divisional round. Orlando leads Birmingham 8-0. But the Iron ready to strike here right outside the red zone. 2nd and 10 from the 21. Perez to throw. With time. To the end zone and overthrown for Quentin Patton. Just his 2nd miss of the day so far. But brings up 3rd and 10. And these are just 2 elite offenses going at it right now. Perez, Garrett Gilbert. It's fun playoff football. 3rd and 10. Huge play for the Iron. Perez to throw. With plenty of time. End zone shot. And it's just out of bounds for Quentin Patton. That'll bring up 4th down. Looks like Birmingham, another good drive. Well, at least get some points out of it as long as Novak hits. That's tough. And Perez now 2 misses. Both of them to Patton. And boy, oh boy, he had him open there in the back of the end zone. If he could have just dropped that down. I think he was worried about that safety creeping over. Didn't want to risk an interception, but just put a little bit too much air. 4th and 10, Nick Novak. He's hit his last 9 field goals in a row. This one from 38. Kick is on its way. It is good. Birmingham cuts into the lead. It's now an 8-3 ball game early on in the 2nd quarter. And Nick Novak again, I mean, he's just been outstanding on these shorter kicks. We look at what he did in week 8. He was 2 for 2. Then against Arizona, 4 for 4. Last week against Orlando, 3 for 3. And now 1 for 1 today. He's been phenomenal on these shorter distance kicks. Love to see it. And Birmingham, this crowd definitely getting back into it. Had the air sucked out of the room with that huge touchdown to Charles Johnson. But Birmingham on the move, 8-3. We'll see if they can get a defensive stop here. Novak sends it away. Back to receive, it's Akeem Hunt, and he will take it out of the end zone. Trying to make a cut upfield. He swung down at the 26-yard line. So Orlando on that opening drive had a couple plays that went nowhere, and then Gilbert just on a 3rd and 9 found Charles Johnson for an 86-yard bomb down the field. He took off, and that was that. See what type of approach they go with here. This game pretty even so far. On the ground, Johnson trying to find the edge, but how about this defense? Going nowhere. It's a loss of 2, and it brings up 2nd and 12. And you got to definitely take into consideration the fact that both these teams know that these are the 2 best rushers in the league, both Richardson and Johnson. So they both have been preparing overtime on these guys, trying to contain them. Because at the end of the day, you contain the run game at some point. Just these quarterbacks aren't going to be completing every single one of their passes. So excellent work on both ends. Steve Spurrier and Tim Lewis' defenses playing at a high level. 2nd and 12 from the 24-yard line. They go with Johnson again. This time there's a bit more room, but only able to get to the 27. He's now got 3 carries for only 1 yard, and 3rd and 10 for Orlando. The Iron have put themselves in a nice position to get a stop. Can they do it? Big 3rd down for Orlando. You don't want to give momentum back to Birmingham right now with a 3 and out. Garrett Gilbert to throw. Quick pass across the middle. Nearly intercepted off the hands of Benequez Brown. And Gilbert is lucky that one fell to the ground incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. And right here, Gilbert just not in sync with his receiver. You see Johnson cutting to the outside. He threw it to the inside. Benequez Brown almost comes down with it. So a big stop there for the Irons defense regardless. Forces a Ben Turk punt. Turk will boot it away. Back to receive is Quan Bray all the way back inside his 20. And he'll fight up to the 27-yard line. Pretty good field position right now for the Iron. Down 8-3. Got a field goal on their second drive. Had a punt on their opening drive. Let's see what they can do here. And I think a lot of it is going to reside on whether or not they can get Trent Richardson going. He's been pretty inactive these first couple of drives. Orlando's contained him very well. See what Tim Lewis adjusts. Try to improve that category. Richardson, there he goes. Cuts through the lane. Trent Richardson all the way up to the 37-yard line. And that's going to bring up 2nd and inches. We go back to when these teams played in Week 5. Trent Richardson was a madman. 24 carries, 126 yards, and a touchdown. Averaged 5.2 yards per carry in that game. Also broke loose for a 42-yard touchdown run. And then last week against Orlando, another impressive game. 17 carries and 81 yards. So Orlando so far continuing pretty well considering those stats. Richardson to the outside. He's got all day. Richardson at 1st down, up to the 48, and just like that, he's over 30 yards on the day, and this crowd really starting to get into it. And Steve Spurrier, he's going to have to make some adjustments now. Tim Lewis is getting his offensive line to get a nice push, and that's when it gets really dangerous. Richardson, just complete daylight to the outside, easy 1st down, and then some. 1st and 10 now, coming up from the 48. Off-play action, Perez with time. Deep down the field, man wide open. Inside the 30 to the 26. Quentin Patton again. Perez over 100 yards on the day, and Patton has 60 of them. And this is exactly what Tim Lewis loves to do. Get Trent Richardson going, get the defense ready for a run, and then you can pull these play actions where you get guys like Patton wide open in the middle of the field. Works to perfection. And just like that, they're inside Orlando's 30. Ready to strike once again. Luis Perez doing a great job of leading this offense right now. 1st and 10. On the ground, this time Richardson contained well. Brings up 2nd and 9. And you know this game is just going to be a battle from start to finish. It's been a very entertaining first half so far. Plenty more of action to come. 2nd and 9 from the 25. Perez to throw. Quick pass. Nearly intercepted. Terrence Garvin got his hands on it. Could not come down with the reception. It's going to be 3rd and 9. So Birmingham now, they've got to try to convert here because you do not want to have 2 great drives that end in field goals. You'd still be down 8-6 after all of that. The Iron really need to try to get in the end zone here. 3rd and 9 from the 25. Perez to throw. Blitz from Orlando. It's picked up by Richardson. Perez now in trouble, and he will go down at the 33. Terrence Garvin, who just nearly came up with the interception on the last play, fights through Trent Richardson's block and gets to Perez. That's Orlando's 3rd sack of the day. It's just the first half. And right here, you know, you got the matchup that you like. Getting Garvin, a very physical linebacker, trying to get blocked by Richardson, and Perez goes down. So now from the 33, I would assume that you send out Nick Novak for a 50-yard field goal attempt. They will. He has really struggled from this distance. Can he knock it through from 50? He does! Nick Novak, proving everybody wrong, knocks through the 50-yarder, and it's 8-6. What a huge kick for the veteran kicker, Nick Novak. From 50, straight down the middle. And I'm not trying to knock on him, but, you know, early on in the season, he was really struggling from those longer range distances. But how about that? Nick Novak has been lethal this second half of the season. 3 for 3 in week 6, 1 for 1 in week 7, 2 for 2 in week 8, 4 for 4 in week 9, and then 3 for 3 last week. So far today, 2 for 2. It's been outstanding, and it's 8-6. Sends it away. Akeem Hunts will take a knee in the end zone, and that'll bring Garrett Gilbert and his squad back out onto the field. The one thing that's a bit worrying right now, if I'm the Iron, you're still down by 2 after those great drives. Orlando, if they score a touchdown here, or even a field goal, they also get the ball for the second half. So Birmingham's defense is going to have to do a stellar job. And they've done a good job outside of that big touchdown pass to Johnson. 1st and 10. Delayed give to Dearness Johnson, who's got a massive hole. Dearness Johnson up to the 39, and finally he gets his first impressive looking run of the night. Gain of 14. And delayed give to just perfection right here. Executed so well. Offensive line gives him a huge hole, and Johnson bursts up to the 39. It's going to bring up 1st and 10 for Steve Spurrier's group.
Set 94.
1st and 10. Motioning Jalen Marshall to the backfield and through. Off play action. Gilbert. Deep man. He's got him wide open. All the way to Birmingham's 39. That's Sean Price, the tight end, who's had an excellent season for the Apollos. That's his first catch of the day, goes for 21. And this is an excellent play call right here. Get the tight end going down the seam. Drops it in the bucket over those linebackers. Tough pass to make at times, but Garrett Gilbert making it look easy. And Sean Price, he's had an underrated season at the tight end position. I mean, he's got 471 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season for Orlando. Gets another catch of about 8 or 9 yards. He'll be at 500 on the year. 1st and 10 from the 39. There's Johnson. Gets a break and gets through to the 34. It's a gain of 5. And Steve Spurrier, he's just got so many weapons here on offense. You know, you've got Charles Johnson, who had 639 yards and 5 touchdowns on the season. You've got Sean Price, who had an excellent year. Got Jalen Marshall, 383 yards and 5 touchdowns. So many weapons. On the ground, Johnson barrels forward for another first down to the 29. Orlando making it look easy. Back into scoring position for them. Although, actually, technically, they have not been in scoring position yet. It's just the 86-yard bomb. This is the first time that they're actually in Birmingham territory and marching. 1st and 10. 2-minute warning approaching. Quick pass. It is nearly intercepted. Excellent defense on the perimeter from Bradley Silv. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. That was a dangerous pass, trying to fit it in there, I believe, to Jalen Marshall. And how about the play by Bradley Silv? 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Garrett Gilbert's had a couple pretty dangerous passes so far today. On the ground, not going to go anywhere. Devin Taylor in the backfield immediately. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. It has been a battle in Birmingham. 8-6 lead for the visiting Apollos. Birmingham playing well on offense, just can't find a way to get in the end zone. Meanwhile, a big 3rd and 9 right now for the Apollos. Up by 2. They convert here. They get a chance to go up by a couple of scores if they get a touchdown in the 2-point conversion. 3rd and 9. See what the play call is from Steve Spurrier. Gilbert fakes a screen. Letting it go deep down the field. Man wide open. In stride. Charles Johnson. His second touchdown catch of the day. And Orlando is up 14-6. And this is exactly what you want to see from your star players. Gilbert hanging in the pocket. The offensive line holds up. And what do you know? Charles Johnson wide open, streaking across the middle. No one even touches him. And he takes it into the end zone for another Orlando score from 28 yards out. Tim Lewis talking to his defense there. You know, you can't let a star wide receiver get that wide open. Now a chance for the Apollos to take a 2-score lead. Gilbert rolling out. Thrown to the back of the end zone. It's caught, but did he step out of bounds? He did. Jalen Marshall steps out of bounds. So that'll negate the successful 2-point conversion, and it keeps it a 1-score game. That is massive. You know, a 16-6 lead puts you up by 10. Meanwhile, an 8-point game. It's pretty easy for Birmingham to march down, score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion. They have plenty of time. Minute 55, 3 timeouts. So we'll see what the Iron can come up with here before halftime. Regardless of the missed 2-point conversion, huge drive right there for Orlando. Impressive work from Garrett Gilbert. Just perfect throws time and time again. Sean Price and then Charles Johnson really finding his stride, and at a perfect time for Orlando. I mean, couldn't come at a better place, better time. Playoff football, win or go home at this point for both of these teams, obviously. Quan Bray on the return. Fights through up to the 28. I thought for a second there he was going to break away. Let's take a look at Luis Perez, and he's been getting battered in this first half. Orlando's done an excellent job of getting to him. Terrence Garvin's got a sack. You got Leon Orr with a big sack on that first drive, as well as Josh Banks coming in with another sack of his own. It's been tough, and this offensive line's going to have to do a better job holding up. A minute 50 to go. 3 timeouts for Birmingham. Perez with time to throw, has to just check it out to Richardson. Makes the catch, but taken down in bounds. Not a great decision there by Richardson, who probably should have gone out of bounds. And Orlando, you know, they're playing with a lot of intensity right now. They're 5-5. People expected them to be better coming into the season. They finished 5-5. Some losses in there that just weren't really expecting, but now definitely feel like the underdog. Everyone is counting them out, and they have a lot to prove here in the playoffs now that they're in. 2nd and 9. Perez. Pressured. Gotta let it rip. Going deep down the field. It is knocked away. A few Iron and Apollos all in the general facility of where that ball landed. 3rd and 9 from their own 29. The Iron need to put something together here. You don't want to give Orlando the ball back with a little bit of time. They still have 2 timeouts left of their own. 3rd and 9. Perez rips it across the middle. It's caught. Quentin Patton first down up to the 39. That is big for this Iron group, and they're probably going to use a timeout here at the minute mark, and they will. So they keep the drive alive. Another 3rd down conversion. Quentin Patton has been outstanding today for the Iron, and Damian Washington, we'll see if at some point he gets involved, but Patton has been the go-to guy the last couple of weeks without a doubt, and I think, you know, it's probably just something that Tim Lewis noticed, because last week Patton had such a big game against the Iron, and why not continue feeding him? He's getting open on these guys. 1st and 10 from the 39. Perez to throw. Deep across the middle, he's got a man, and it's dropped. Wes Saxton gets it jarred loose after the hit. That would have put them in field goal range, but instead, it's going to be 2nd and 10. That was a perfect pass from Luis Perez. It's going to show up as an incompletion on the stat sheet, but that was a beauty of a ball. It's a shame Saxton could not hold on. Great hit there by one of those linebackers. 2nd and 10. Perez. Same play. There he finds his man. It's Saxton, and they call a timeout at the 37. Luis Perez, I mean, he is just doing such an outstanding job today of finding his men down the field, making the right reads, the right throws. It's just so awesome to see the way he has grown throughout the season. You know, the decisions that he made those first few weeks, even in their wins, you know, some of those were pretty questionable, but this second half of the season, he's been so much more refined. He's been very smart with the football. 1st and 10 from the 37. Perez with time, cannot afford to take a sack here. Lets it go, and that'll just be a throwaway, incomplete, very smart, stops the clock. Brings up 2nd and 10. They've only got one timeout remaining, so they're going to have to be very careful here. Madden, a lot of the time, will not be smart with time management, so I'd hope that the Iron can at least have a chance to kick a field goal at the end of this period. 2nd and 10 from the 37. Perez to throw. Over the seam, he's got Saxton down to the 21. They're going to have to keep moving, but what a reception for Saxton, who now has 71 yards on the day. I mean, week after week, this guy is just making plays. It's incredible to watch. Down to the 21. Birmingham is going to have to keep it moving right now. They do not want to have to call their final timeout before they decide to kick a field goal. Nearing 20 seconds, and it's starting to get to the point a little bit worried that Madden will just waste all this time and call a timeout. 1st and 10, they'll get a play off. Perez to throw. Backing up, he's just got to let it go. He's taken down at the 28, and they'll have to call a timeout. Perez just couldn't find anything, and now just made this field goal attempt a little bit more difficult for Nick Novak. He did hit from 50, though, so 45 should be a no-brainer, especially with the way he's been kicking lights out as of late. Regardless, big play from Orlando. And they will send out Nick Novak with 10 seconds left in the first half. Trying to make it a 5-point game. 45-yard field goal attempt on the way, and it's good! Nick Novak's hot streak continues. Makes it a 14-9 ball game with 6 seconds left to play in the second quarter. And he just gets it through there, a little close to the left bar, but he's able to knock it through goalpost. Excuse me. Tim Lewis, you know, he's got to be really happy with the way Perez has played, and I know they haven't been able to capitalize on these situations down by the red zone, but regardless, they're getting points on the board. It's a 5-point game, and at some point, you know Perez is going to start just throwing touchdowns left and right. I mean, he's finding his men. It's just a matter of can he find his guys in the end zone. Sends it away. Akeem Hunt on the return. May not run out the clock here. Stays on his feet, taking down 2 seconds. So 2 seconds for Garrett Gilbert to maybe attempt something. He will throw the football. Going deep down the field. Going to take a deep shot. Tipped up and incomplete, falls to the ground. And that'll do it for the first half of action. Playoff football in the AAF Simulated. Birmingham 9, Orlando 14. Tim Lewis, his group is right in the thick of things. He's got some work to do, though, because Orlando's going to get the ball for half. What a fun first half of football. Let's take a look at some of these highlights. Jonas Johnson had a nice run there early on in that second quarter. Kind of gave them some life. Garrett Gilbert with the throw of the day right there to Johnson over the top. And then Charles Johnson off to the races for the big touchdown. And Johnson had another touchdown as well right after the 2-minute warning. So 14-9. Orlando will receive the football up by 5. This game could certainly go either way at this point. What's crucial right now for Birmingham, can they get a stop early on Orlando? Just kind of mess with them. We'll see. Excuse me, mess with their momentum. I didn't even finish my sentence. Not very professional from the booth. 14-9. Second half getting ready to get underway, and just gotta love those Madden glitches. Nick Novak, 3 for 3. He's been phenomenal today and second half of the season. On the return, it's Akeem Hunt. He'll be taken down at the 28-yard line. That's where the Apollos set up shop. I know I keep talking about Nick Novak, but I'm really impressed with the way he's turned this season around because, yeah, I mean, I remember early on he was missing kicks. Looking at some of these stats, I mean, against weeks 3 and week 4, he missed his field goal attempts. And in week 2, so I'm not making this stuff up. He was missing field goals to start the season, but he's been outstanding since then. 1st and 10 for Garrett Gilbert. Quick throw to the sidelines, it's caught. Nice grab by Chris Thompson and a great throw. Garrett Gilbert, 4 of 8 with almost 150 yards in the day. That's Thompson's first catch of the night. It's crazy the way Gilbert just kind of manages his offense sometimes. You know, he doesn't always complete a lot of passes, but he completes the right ones. There's Johnson on the ground, trying to cut it upfield. Taken down to 45. Clean game so far. No turnovers on either side. Now that I said that, I'm sure there will be one. But so far, the offense is doing a good job of protecting the football, and I can't imagine, you know, how much these coaches have driven it into their players. Do not turn over the football. Whatever you do, don't turn over the football. You know, in these playoff games, turnovers will cost you. Put that down. 2nd and 6. Garrett Gilbert pulls it, takes it himself, and taken down very quickly. 3rd and 4. Jack Tocho with the tackle. Big 3rd down right now. If you're Orlando, don't want to give Birmingham the ball back and an opportunity for them to take the lead. Convert here on 3rd and 4. Keep possession. Maintain momentum. Gilbert to throw. Blitz from Birmingham. Backing up. Rifles it across the middle. He's got his man. That's complete to the 35. Chris Thompson with a big reception, and Garrett Gilbert strikes once again. Thompson now with 2 grabs on this drive that go for 31 total yards, and this is a perfect throw. He's feeling the pressure in his face, but how about the zip he put on that football to get it in stride to Chris Thompson. Big reception, and Steve Spurrier couldn't be more proud of his quarterback, making these types of throws in the biggest game of the season yet. 1st and 10. Gilbert back to throw. Across the middle, he's got Jalen Marshall. That's a 1st down to the 24. Garrett Gilbert getting close to 200 yards, 177, 2 touchdowns. He's having one of his best performances of the year. And again, you know, this is a win or go home. You win, you're in the championship game. You lose, and, well, it's the end of the season. So we'll see Orlando looking to get their first win against Birmingham this year on the biggest stage possible. 1st and 10 from the 24. On the ground, Johnson goes nowhere. In the backfield, that's Devin Taylor again, his 2nd tackle for loss on the day. Big play for Birmingham, and, you know, this drive has been pretty much all Orlando, so that's pretty important because right now, you know, the Apollos are in field goal range. You probably are assuming they're going to get at least 3. But if you hold them to 3, that's a win. You're keeping it a 1-score game, giving your offense an opportunity to tie things up. 2nd and 11. Delayed give. Johnson, a big hole. Takes it inside the 20 to the 16, and that'll bring up 3rd and 2 for the Apollos. And right now, the Iron need to come up with something big on 3rd and 2 to get a stop. I'm thinking run right now for Orlando, but we'll see. They do give it to Johnson. And did he get there? I don't think he did. He did. So the extra push right at the end, and Orlando was able to pick up the 1st down. What a huge play. Johnson, I thought he had a bit of a hole. He missed it, but then he's just able to contort his body while he's going down. Jonathan Massaquoi gives him a bit of a push. It's enough to get the 1st down on Orlando. Moves the chains, and now a huge opportunity for them to take a 2-score lead if they can score a touchdown. 1st and 10. Off play action. Gilbert. Across the middle. It's caught. That's Johnson. Taken down at the 5. That's a gain of 9. And Johnson, he was swarmed immediately. They do not want him to score again. 3 catches, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Charles Johnson. My goodness. We've always known he's been one of the best in this league, but he's just proven it today. Biggest stage, doesn't face him at all. 2nd and 1. Johnson. Oh my goodness, what a hit in the backfield. Benequest Brown lights him up at the 5. Another big 3rd and 1. A chance here for the Iron to get a stop, if they can. Tim Lewis, we'll see what he dials up defensively. And if I'm Steve Spurrier, I'm letting Gilbert pass the football. I maybe do a little play action here. Give Gilbert an opportunity to throw. He will throw. Backing up. End zone. It's caught. He's in. Touchdown, Orlando. Sean Price, the tight end, with his 6th touchdown reception of the season. And the Apollos lead 20-9. A drive that took up 6.5 minutes to open up this second half. And Birmingham is starting to get into a bit of a hole here in these playoffs. What a throw. 3rd touchdown for Garrett Gilbert. He's just playing absolutely out of his mind today. And Orlando up 20-9. Chance to make it a 13-point game. This would be big if Birmingham stops them here. Keep it an 11-point game. Gilbert to throw. He's got his man. It is an easy walk-in for Sean Price. He just scored a touchdown, and apparently Birmingham thought, hey, he scored a touchdown, we're not going to cover him. Bad decision, and Tim Lewis's team now down. Look at Garrett Gilbert on that drive. 5 of 5, 54 yards, a touchdown, successful 2-point conversion. It's just legendary from Gilbert. You'll love to see it. Birmingham is now down by 13 points, their biggest deficit that they have faced in a hot minute. The last time they were down by a lot of points was in Week 7 against Memphis. They went down 31-12. They came all the way back, tied it up at 31, and then ended up losing 34-31. But this is the biggest deficit they've faced since then. We'll see. Do they have the resiliency to come back? Plenty of time left in this ball game. Quan Bray takes it to the 25, and that's where Birmingham will get their first drive of the second half with 3.5, a little under 3.5 to play. It's a very long drive. That's the perfect drive for Orlando. Take up 6.5 minutes off the clock. Get 8 points. You're up by 13. First and 10 from the 25. Off play action. Luis Perez is decked. Back at the 17, that's Earl Okine, who gets right in there for the sack. That is the 5th sack of the night for the Apollos. It has been a nightmare for Luis Perez. I mean, no time for him to barely even set his feet and try to throw. You know, if Birmingham properly blocks, this is most likely a big play for Birmingham instead. It's a huge sack for Okine. The defensive line is just dominating today. The Iron are going to need an answer quick. They go on the ground. It's Richardson. He'll take it up to the 26, so they get most of that back. Actually, they get all of it back. It'll set up 3rd and 9. And Birmingham, that first half, did an excellent job of converting on 3rd downs when they weren't in field goal range. So, can they once again successfully convert here on a very important 3rd and 9? You know, you punt here, you're down by 13, and you think the game might just slip away. This is crucial. 3rd and 9, Perez to throw. Zips it in traffic, and he can't hold it in. Patton got his hands on it. That was a hell of a throw from Perez. But Patton unable to haul it in. Look at this throw. In between different guys, and that's twice now he's thrown a perfect pass, and a hit from an Orlando defender knocks it away. 4th and 9, and Colton Schmidt's going to have to come out to punt. A disappointing finish there to that drive. 3 and out for Birmingham. They're starting to lose it. Marshall on the return, taken down immediately at the 21-yard line. Right now, for Orlando, just take more clock. Take up more clock. March down the field, get another score. You could put this thing completely away. 1:57 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Garrett Gilbert has been perfect. Thompson makes the catch and makes a move, but gets destroyed at the 23. 2nd and 8 coming up in Birmingham. Again, they need a very quick stop. You know, get a quick stop here, get the ball back, march down the field, you'll be all right. As long as they can score a touchdown, something they have failed to do on 3 drives they got inside the 30. 2nd and 8. On the ground, Johnson. First down to the 31. Carries Benequez Brown with him. And Johnson now over 50 yards on the day. Ernest Johnson, you know, he hasn't had the most explosive day of his career, but he's been doing enough to get the job done. He's picking up some important first downs for his team, and they're really starting to pull away down the stretch. Under a minute left in this third quarter. 1st and 10 for Gilbert and company. Back on the ground, Johnson bounces around a couple defenders and gets smacked by Joe Powell and Jonathan Massaquoi in the backfield. Huge play for that Iron defense that desperately needed a stop. Right now, the Apollos can't afford to have plays like this. More time is coming off the clock, which is beneficial. But now it's 2nd and 13. See what they decide to do. Second and 13 for Steve Spurrier. See what the play call is from the coach. Back to the ground. Another huge play. That's Casey Sales in there with one of his first tackles of the day. And we have 3 quarters down. 1 more to go. 22-9 lead for the Apollos, who have had a couple of big drives. Huge touchdown. The Iron, a 3 and out in that third quarter. But right now, 3rd and 14. The Iron desperately need this stop. Can they get it? Huge blitz. And it's intercepted, overthrown, and picked off. And the Iron get a massive turnover. Elijah Campbell intercepts the pass intended for Jalen Marshall. And Birmingham sets up shop right at midfield. And this is just an errant throw from Gilbert. I mean, he's got Marshall open. I mean, I do see 58 Massaquoi coming up over the top. Probably saw that, figured he had to put a little bit more juice on it. Instead, overthrows Marshall, and Elijah Campbell with one of the biggest plays of the night for Birmingham. And now Luis Perez coming back out, an opportunity to get his team right back into this game. And we talked about how critical turnovers are. That's the first turnover of the night. Comes on the first play of the fourth quarter. We've seen some insane fourth quarters. Anything is possible in the AAF Simulated. Quick pass from Perez. That's caught by Patton. He's down at the 41. That'll bring up 2nd and 3. Right now, the Iron, you want to get a quick score right now, because before you know it, it's only going to be a few minutes left in the quarter in the game. So, Quentin Patton having himself another impressive day. 2nd and 3 from the 41. Perez back to throw. Across the middle, it's complete. That's his tight end. Actually, no, that's Jamal Robinson with his first catch of the night. Goes for 5 yards. Robinson's been a pretty big piece of the puzzle for Birmingham this season. Been shut down up until that catch right there. 1st and 10 from the 36. The Iron moving the chains. Luis Perez directing traffic and doing a good job at that. Perez to throw. Takes a deep drop. Lets it fly, and it's knocked to the ground. Incomplete. Try to dump it off to Richardson, but it's well played by an Apollos defense that has not given up one touchdown today. 2nd and 10 coming up for Perez. And the Iron at the 36. Huge interception from Campbell. All receivers spread wide for Perez. 2nd and 10. Back to throw. With time, but he's going to have to let it go. He stays on his feet. He stays on his feet again. Perez lets it go, and it's incomplete. How in the world did he not get sacked there? I don't know. But it brings up 3rd and 10 from the 36. My goodness. That was unreal. 2 Apollos looked like they had good shots at him. He stays on his feet. 3rd and 10. game on the line right now for the Iron if they can't convert. Back to throw is Perez. Deep shot. It's knocked away in traffic again. This Orlando defense has stepped up their game. Saxton unable to juggle it and complete it. And again, this is a good pass from Perez. I mean, he just fits it in another very, very tight window. And his receiver just unable to come down with the reception. I know you're getting hit hard there by Ladarius Gunner, but that's the third drop now that West Saxon has had in traffic. He's been an excellent tight end all season long. He's had a few big catches today, but that's tough. And now a 53-yard field goal attempt from Nick Novak. He's hit his last 14 or 15 attempts in a row. Can he knock through the 53-yarder? Kick is on its way. Off the upright and no good. Just short, and Nick Novak misses his first field goal since week 4. He was on such a hot streak, and this one just bounces off the crossbar, comes up short, and the Iron still down by 13 after all of that. Garrett Gilbert coming out off the interception. Besides that one bad throw, he's played pretty dang good today. 3 touchdowns, almost 200 yards. And a chance now for the Apollos to try to put it away with 8:15 left to play in the game. A trip to the championship game on the line. 1st and 10. Gilbert knocked away. Dangerous throw. Shaheed Salmon bats it down. Second and 10 coming up from the 43. The Iron can get another quick stop. That would be very helpful. Johnson, big hole. Dearness Johnson cuts up to the 50. And he's back over 50 yards. Third and 3 coming up. Time is of the essence for the Iron. Down by 13. Can they get the stop? Gilbert to throw. Across the middle. It is complete. Chris Thompson to the 33. Orlando is able to move the chains. And they are one step closer to getting a championship berth on the road in the playoffs. And they're just straight up dominating right now. Garrett Gilbert, Dearness Johnson. The defense has got 5 sacks. It has been Orlando's night, and it could not have come at a better time. I know records, you always want to have a good record, but at the end of the day, you got to win the games that are important. And Orlando, 5-5 record, won the important games to get in the playoffs, and now a chance to go to the championship game. Under 7 left to play. Johnson bursts inside the 30, taking it down at the 29. 2nd and 6. For the Apollos. And I think the biggest issue for Birmingham today that's really going to come back to bite him here is the inability to score a touchdown. I mean, they had so many opportunities in Orlando territory where they just could not convert, couldn't make the big play. And they're really feeling the effects of that right now. Johnson with another first down. Inside the 20 to the 19, and Orlando starting to put the nails in the coffin of this one. If you're Birmingham, if you can hold them to a field goal here, you need 2 touchdowns with 2 two-point conversions and most likely an onside kick in the middle of that as well. So the odds certainly in Orlando's favor right now, and they can taste the championship game. They certainly can. It's been a heck of a run for Birmingham. 6 minutes left for them to make an unreal comeback. We've seen crazier things happen in fourth quarters before, trust me. 1st and 10, and there's a big tackle in the backfield. Benequist Brown goes down with injury. That's not good for Birmingham, but Joe Powell with a massive tackle in the backfield. 2nd and 13 now at the 21. Brown, he's, essentially the leader of that linebacker core, and a lot of the defense as well. They all look up to him. He's been leading that team, the defensive unit, all season long. So that's a tough injury here the final few minutes of this game. 2nd and 13. Lucky for Birmingham, the time stops, and they also didn't lose a timeout. See what Steve Spurrier decides to call here. It's another run, and Johnson goes backwards once again. A huge tackle. Nick James and Jamar Summers in there, and that'll make it a 3rd and 14 situation. Still a little bit of hope for the Iron here if they can at least keep it a 2-score game. 3rd and 14 coming on up. Been a fun first playoff matchup. We've seen a whole lot of action. 3rd and 14. Gilbert to throw. All receivers spread wide. Deep pass, and it's caught for the first down inside the 10 to the 7. Unreal. Jalen Marshall with a huge catch, just his 2nd of the night. But a very important one. Sets them up 1st and goal at the 7. And this is just Garrett Gilbert at his finest. A bullet to Marshall. Finds the open man, who gets to the first down yardage. Keeps his drive alive. Time continues to come off the clock. And Orlando now a chance to add to their lead and essentially put this one away. End around to Charles Johnson. Swung down at the 3. Charles Johnson, have a day. Those 2 touchdowns in the first half, just crucial for Orlando to really give them some momentum. And they have not given up this lead once tonight. 2nd and goal from the 3. Gilbert will throw to the end zone. Tipped and incomplete. Dangerous. 3rd and goal coming up. If we would have been able to fit that in there, it would have been the 3rd touchdown to Johnson tonight. And Charles Johnson, he's up there on the leaderboard when it comes to touchdowns. I believe he got 5 on the year, now 2 here in the playoffs. 3rd and goal to throw. End zone, misses his man. Looking for Johnson again. I think he had Marshall on the other side. Should have thrown it there. Instead, it's 4th and goal. So Birmingham will at least keep this a 2-score game with 3.5 left to play. And yeah, that's just a missed throw right there. If he could have fit it into Johnson, I think they would have had the score. Regardless, Orlando does their job, takes more time off the clock. And now Elliott Fry for his first field goal attempt of the night from 20 yards out. Kick is up, and it is good. Orlando with a 25-9 lead. 3.5 minutes left for Birmingham to put together the comeback of the century. And again, you know, we've seen some crazy fourth quarters. We saw Birmingham have an incredible fourth quarter against Memphis back when they were down by 19. But they did have more time in that one. Here, only 3.5 minutes to put up 16 points. Luis Perez, he's had a nice night. Just had a couple bad drops. And if you go back to, you know, West Saxon, a couple of those drops on 3rd down. And then, right when they were in the red zone, Luis Perez just overthrew Patton in the end zone. You wonder just what things would be like if that was a touchdown right there. Elliott Fry, he'll send it away. Quan Bray in the end zone, wisely takes a knee. Out comes Luis Perez. And we have seen this all night long, just being decked time and time and time again. Had an impressive play a couple of drives ago, staying on his feet, but they ultimately came away with no points. Missed field goal. Right now, they need scoring, and they need it fast. They go on the ground to Richardson. He'll get him a first down up to the 36. 1st and 10. time running. Richardson gets to 50 on the day. Right there, I don't know. I just feel like you need more than that. Time is of the essence. Birmingham just needs a deep shot right now. 1st and 10. Under 3 minutes left to play in this divisional matchup. Back to throw is Perez. Just has to dump it off. That's Saxon with the catch wide open up to the 49. First and 10. Coming up for the Iron at midfield. Time continuing to be a factor here. Under 2.5. There's not a sense of urgency right now from the Iron. Perez to throw. It's caught. And Jamal Robinson gets taken down to 45. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning here in Birmingham. The hometown Iron down by 16, 25-9. Win or go home. Orlando 2 minutes away from a championship berth to play either Salt Lake or Arizona. And with the confidence Orlando's playing with right now, they definitely could beat either one of those teams. 2nd and 4 from the 45. Last chance. They go with Richardson on the ground. Taken down by the face mask. Oh boy. That is not the penalty to have right there. Pushes them all the way to the 25. And Birmingham doesn't have to use a timeout. So that is huge. Birmingham, they need to take an end zone shot right now. Get a score, and then they'll need to get the 2-point conversion to try to keep this thing alive. Perez to throw. Pressured, lets it fly. Incomplete, out of bounds. Perez nearing 200 yards in the day. But gotta give it to him. I mean, he's put some incredible throws in the tight windows that just simply have not been caught. Right now, I'd say it's safe to say Birmingham's most likely going to lose this game. But this loss is not necessarily on Perez. He could have made a couple more throws, but at the end of the day, didn't get much help. Has to let it go quick. Richardson taken down in the backfield. A loss of 3. 3rd and 13 coming up for the Iron. Terrence Garvin has been a menace tonight, along with Reggie Northrup and that whole linebacker core. Missed blocks all over the place for Birmingham. We're under 1.5 minutes left to play. 3rd and 13 from Orlando's 28. Perez to throw. Deep down the field. He's got a man. It is caught for the touchdown. Wes Saxon gets in the end zone, and Birmingham finally finds the end zone with under 1.5 minutes left to play, but gives them just a little bit of hope here. Just a thread. Saxon gets taken down, but not before he crosses the plane, clearly in the end zone. And what a huge reception for the tight end. That is, despite a big night, has also struggled with a couple of bad drops. This is crucial. A 2-point conversion to make it a 1-score game. They try a screen, it's not going to work. Patton taken down. That's the worst play call that could have happened right there. And Orlando's still up by 10. And just disappointing for Tim Lewis. I don't understand what is up with these screens being called. But that was not it. Orlando all over that one. Will Hill gets in there. And the Apollos 1 minute and 21 seconds away from a win. Onside kick attempt coming on up for Birmingham, but they still don't. They're going to need a couple of these if they want any chance. Season on the line. Can they somehow have the first onside kick conversion ever? They cannot. Chris Thompson picks it up at the 43, and that should just about put a capper on this one. Tim Lewis's team still down by 10 with only 1 minute 21 left to play, and just see the disappointment in his eyes. And got a feel for him. I mean, Birmingham had such an incredible season, 3 straight wins to close it out, 7-3 record. But Garrett Gilbert, the Iron Destroyer here, 12 of 20, 229 yards, 3 touchdowns.
70 Indy.
First and 10 now from the 43. And they pitch it to Johnson. Goes nowhere. Timeout called by Birmingham. Loss of 4 on the play. Iron still giving it everything they got, and you got to respect it. 2nd and 14. Ryan White in there to make the tackle, and Jonas Johnson with some of these negative runs here at the end of this game. Certainly not helping his stat sheet. 2nd and 14 from the 47. Johnson up the middle, picks up 3. Another timeout used by Birmingham. 1 timeout remaining. 3rd and 11 for Orlando. 3rd and 12. But yeah, this is essentially in Orlando's hands. Even if they don't convert here, Birmingham would still need to come up with 2 scores with a minute left to play. 3rd and 12. Johnson. Big gaping hole. Johnson off to the races down to the 21. Birmingham uses their last timeout. But that run will send Orlando to the championship game. 1 minute and 7 seconds left to play. No timeouts remaining for Birmingham. Orlando 25-15 lead. And the Apollos are well on their way to the championship in the first ever AAF Simulated season. Gilbert takes a knee. Let time run down. What a run from Johnson. A burst of 23 yards to put this one away. And gotta hand it to Orlando. They've got to be very proud of themselves for putting it together. You know, during the season, 2-3 at the halfway point. Won 3 of their last 5. Got in the playoffs. Clinched it in week 9. Gilbert takes a knee. And that'll be the last play of the East Divisional matchup here in the playoffs. Birmingham falls short at home. You got to give them credit. I mean, nothing but respect for the Iron having an incredible season here in the AAF Simulated. An East best 7-3 record, tied with the Salt Lake Stallions at 7-3. But that will do it from Birmingham. The Iron fall short. Orlando is going to the championship game. A 25-15 win over the Iron is their first victory against Birmingham this season. Luis Perez, a pretty good performance. At least got a touchdown there at the end. But Orlando dominant from start to finish. 25-15 final from Birmingham. What a day, a fun one. East Divisional, Garrett Gilbert, unstoppable through the air. Found Johnson twice. That was Saxton able to get in the end zone there for Birmingham towards the end. But Charles Johnson with 2 touchdowns. Arguably player of the night. But that will do it from Birmingham. 25-15 is our final score. Orlando will face off against Salt Lake or Arizona in the championship game at some point, whenever that is. Perez disappointed. And that'll do it for us at the AAF Simulated. Thank you so much for tuning into this playoff game. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to record. It's been so much fun doing this season. And again, we might have some big plans coming up soon. We've got to stay on the hush for now. But speaking of big plans, Orlando, they're taking a trip to the championship game. Congratulations to Steve Spurrier, Garrett Gilbert, and those Orlando Apollos. Nothing but respect for Birmingham. But they end up having to go home today. Tough loss for the hometown Iron. Well, I'm James Larson with the AAF Simulated. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you stay up to date. Don't miss the championship game coming up soon. Also, go follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with all the good stuff over there. We got the AAF sheets down in the description below. Get access to all the individual player stats, season stats, game stats, standings, and so much more. You don't want to miss out on that. That's the final from Birmingham. 25 for the Apollos, 15 for the Iron. Orlando, we'll see you in the championship game. Till next time, this is the AAF Simulated on EA Sports.